35 teams here at this year's Sudirman Cup. 31 teams 2 years ago. Good to have more teams competing each year in this World Mixed Team Championship that is the Sudirman Cup. And of course the Sudirman Cup is named after Dick Sudirman, former Indonesian badminton player. He was the founder of the Badminton Association of Indonesia, as well as its chairman for 22 years. He was also a vice president of the IBF, as it was then, the International Badminton Federation, now the BWF, of course. Well, here come the players for the second of our matches in this evening's tie, and it is women's singles, and Hyun of Korea, and a surprise selection maybe with Hyun of Malaysia. I say surprise selection because she is actually the 5th ranked Malaysian on the women's singles world ranking list, and of course their number 1 player, Jing is perhaps better known to some, but Hyun is just 20 years of age, born in Kuala Lumpur. And I know that she has a huge amount of talent. Stephen Temple from Wales is our umpire for this one. There she is, 111 in the world ranking at the moment, up 21 places this week. Hyun, and that's quite a difference to her opponent, who is number 7 on the world ranking. And Hyun will of course be known around the world to all badminton fans because she has actually been as high as 4, and she's the daughter of 2 very famous badminton players, her mother Kim Yun-ya and father Sung Kwok, who of course are both international badminton players. And giving away my age, I used to play against her mother. There's confirmation that she's number 7 in the world ranking. This year she won the German Grand Prix gold, beating the current world champion Carolina Marin in the final. And the Malaysian here, as I say, 20 years of age, born in Kuala Lumpur, up 21 places from 132 to 111. She has been inside the top 100, reached 99 for a couple of weeks in December at the end of last year. And her win-loss record for the year, well, she's played 5 tournaments so far. The best she's done was 2nd round very recently at the New Zealand Grand Prix Gold event. Now, Hyun, Steen, I know you and I enjoyed watching her on many an occasion, but I think we ought to make mention, as we looked at her coach, that she was selected to play in all of Korea's Sudirman Cup campaign 2 years ago, and she remained undefeated throughout that campaign. Of course, in the final she wasn't required to play because the match was already over before the women's singles. And they're Hendroan, a former world champion, on the left as we look at them, and Morten Frost. But that's, I thought, to have a campaign like that, Steen, 2 years ago, was really quite remarkable from Hyun, because she is still very young. She's only 23 years of age.
Yeah, she's been on the circuit for quite a while. I guess it was like 17 or 18 when she first emerged.
Yes, the last Sudirman Cup was of course played in Kuala Lumpur 2 years ago. This competition is a biannual event.
I'm not sure, Joe, but would suppose that you know that was she part of that Korean team who won the Uber Cup?
Yes, she was.
Yeah. As I recall, she won a lot of matches back then as well. I might be wrong.
No, you're not wrong at all. I can't remember offhand, but I have a feeling that she had match point opportunities in the second game against Wang Yihan, first women's singles in that Uber Cup final. And she lost from what seemed to be that winning position, but Korea still won
The tie.
the final and won the Uber Cup.
On my right, Korea, represented by Hyun. On my left, Malaysia, represented by Hyun. Korea to serve. Love all. Play.
So this is the first meeting between these two players. Sung Ji-hyun representing Korea, nearest to us, against Lim Yin-fun of Malaysia. Now, Steen, I was saying that the young Malaysian, she's very talented young player. I know that you got the opportunity to speak to Morten Frost when we first arrived down at the stadium this evening, and you were talking about the selection and the fact that he has preferred Lim to Jing, and just tell us, was there any background to that or any rationale behind it?
Yeah, there was. I mean, the basic philosophy is that something needs to happen in Malaysian badminton, and of course you want to develop the already existing top players, but you also need to get younger players forward. You need to give them the opportunity to play in order to see them develop, and Morten feels that there's a number of talented women's singles players, whereas Lim here is one of them, and she's the one getting the chance to play here instead of just going for the regular safe choice of playing Jing. We also saw that he's made some very bold selections for the SEA Games, Southeast Asian Games later on this year. So
Next month in Singapore.
yeah, so the young players, they're going to get a chance to play.
Yeah. I think we ought to make mention, and certainly I'm sure, Steen, you'll join me in sending our very best wishes to poor Sonia Cheer, who I thought was an outstanding talent, and I understand that her Achilles injury has reoccurred. She's already had 4 operations on it, and we certainly send our best wishes and hope she has a speedy recovery. So, of course, there are other players, up and coming youngsters, but right here and now, the opportunity has been given to Lim Yin-fun. Yeah, that's a nice shot.
Yeah.
Service over 1-5.
Now, certainly the last time I saw Sung Ji-hyun playing, I don't remember that support on her elbow.
No.
Is that a new injury or a new precaution?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Well, I mentioned she won the German Grand Prix Gold earlier this year, Sung Ji-hyun, and in doing so emulated her mother, who won that same title 29 years previously. Oh, look at that.
Well played. Classical Sung Ji-hyun style. I talked to Morten Frost, and he said he was was a little bit tensed about this game because when you give debut to a player, of course you want them to have a good experience and not necessarily winning, but having a good experience, and it could be difficult here because Song, in my opinion, is very good at playing against a bit shorter players, and there's quite a bit of height difference between these two players. She's been playing excellently against some of the Japanese youngsters coming up, Kane Yamaguchi and I think Mitani as well. She has a style that's hard to play against for the shorter players.
Yeah, and there's 10 centimetres difference between these two players.
But important for Lim here. Nice comeback from down 0-5, now 4-6.
Oh, that was a beautiful cross-court drop from Lim.
5-6.
Yeah, and what I liked about that was not only the accuracy, I love the technical skill there, Steen.
Yeah, that was one of the things that Morten mentioned, that she could do both the normal slice and the reverse slice that we saw here. And knowing Morten, that might have contributed to the selection, because that's one of his favorite shots.
7-5.
So I suppose in a scenario like this, and I mean, I've never been in your position, Steen, but obviously you've been head coach, you were head coach for many years and very experienced. You know, if you look at a team selection and you say to yourselves, presumably you have to be realistic and say, we don't actually have a player we believe has a realistic chance of beating the best player from the other nation we're playing against. So you select sometimes maybe on talent and potential, or do you have a responsibility to select the best player? Is it something you're torn between?
Not really. We have to select, in my opinion, for talent and potential, because we coaches and our job is to try to win medals for the country. So there's no way around it, and I feel that perhaps Malaysia has been going down the other stretch for a number of years, the safe way, just selection by ranking. Of course, she's been spirited, otherwise she wouldn't have been selected, Lim, but of course the performance of the men's doubles must have given her even more spirit.
Oh, look at that. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, no, that was good spirits.
And that's one of the strong points of Song, that a lot of players could be a little bit tensed as the shuttles keeps coming back. She doesn't really get tensed. She just plays on and on and on. A little bit better shot, making the opportunity just a little bit better.
Yeah.
For every shot until she's won the point.
Overdone it.
10-7.
Don't you think in a way though that's very good that she will just calmly keep going at that same pace? Don't you think in a way that's an area though that she could improve by having an injection of pace sometimes. I think her game is very much the same pace
Yes,
all the time.
I totally agree. Now I think back of I think she was Olympic gold medalist Bang Soo-hyun
Indeed she was.
of
Atlanta.
of Korea.
Yeah,
Interval.
1996. Now 4-point advantage at the mid-game interval. Yeah, carry on, Steen. Sorry I interrupted there.
No, that's okay. We should maybe try to see if we can hear what they're saying. I can't understand that.
Park Tae-sun, Korean coach.
Now, what I was saying, that she reminds me a little bit of Bang Soo-hyun, whereas Bang, up to the 1996 Olympics, she had really high level of play, but she didn't have the physicality to compete with Susie Susanti, and she didn't have the technical skills, the mental toughness to compete with was it Yi Zhaoying of China.
Ye Xiaoying, yeah.
But in 1 year she improved a little bit on the technical side and a little bit on the physical side of the game, and in 96 she won everything.
Yeah.
And I feel that if they have the recipe back home in Korea for that, then now would be the time to apply it to Song Ji-hyun.
Yeah. Interesting. Ooh,
Oh.
goodness me. Oh no, she's all right. Oh, good rally. Oh, how did she get that back? Oh! Yeah, that's a perfect example of what you were talking about.
12-7.
Calmly, just keeps going. Yeah, her opponent's way out of position. Still plays a lovely shot towards that line. Oh, I'm surprised. I had it in my mind that that was the longest rally of the evening so far, but it wasn't quite. It is in this women's singles, but
I didn't see how many shots.
31
32 was I noticed 32 in the men's doubles.
in the men's doubles, that's right.
Wait, please. Wait. Wait.
Oh, that's nice. Hold and flick. Oh, that's landing in. Oh, it's called out.
Service over.
Well, obviously the line judge in a much better position to see than I am. Here we go. Oh, it was close, but it was out. Good call, line judge.
It was actually on its way wide left, but I think the drift took it back in, so it was only on the baseline it was out.
Oh, look
Well
at that.
played.
The skill, the slice.
Service over.
Huge slice across the feathers of the shuttle, bringing it down straight. Look at that. Delightful.
Final.
When you look at these two
14,
players,
8.
Steen, and I'm watching the movement of both of them during the rally, and the amount of court that the Malaysian is having to cover in comparison to Sung Ji Hyun is quite extraordinary. Sung Ji Hyun just seems to be controlling things from the big court area, from her base position, and pushing her opponent to corner and corner, bringing her forward, pushing her back.
Yeah. There were a couple of rallies ago, the one that ended with that beautiful straight slice. I think actually Lim played some good shots in there, because she can't afford to get sort of moved around the court all the time. She needs to prevent Sung from doing this patient attack.
Yeah.
But it's hard for her, and I think if we think a little bit more long term, she needs to change the playing style a little bit. She can't play like Sung and be 10 centimeters shorter. So she needs to come up with something else, as does the Japanese girls when they're playing these tall players. They have to find a way to play more of a doubles match against Sung, for instance, here, and sort of take the lines, the precision out of the game, put more pace into the shots, try to be quicker on the feet. That would be a way to develop the game of Lim Yin Fung, in my opinion.
So more attacking play, or flatter when you're flatter.
Flat. Attacking won't help. Flat would perhaps help. That's at least the idea behind that thought.
Service over. 9-15.
How about also, I'm thinking in general terms for all the shorter women's singles players, you've mentioned some of the Japanese, because my mind is now racing, and you've stimulated a lot of thought here, because I'm immediately thinking of former world champion Ratchana Kintanon. Not the tallest of athletes, but unbelievable racket skills and disguise. So I'm also thinking not only what you've just said, but players like Lim.
Yeah.
She's got nice racket skills. She's got that soft touch, that grip on her racket. Maybe really needs to work on that disguised
That's
overhead.
another possibility.
Yeah.
That's another possibility.
17-9.
Oh, that's wild. Yeah. This is where, you know, you go on to courts,
18-9.
you're excited by the challenge of being selected for your country and so on. She's run her heart out so far in this
You
open
have
game.
dreams of winning.
You have dreams of winning, but now she's running out of ideas as to how to put that into reality.
Exactly.
Yep. Here we are.
Reality creeps in on you.
Yeah.
9.
So 2 points away from the opening game for Sung Ji Hyun. He's gone wide as well. Game point opportunities.
20, game point. 9.
Just 15 minutes of play. Clock turns over to the 16 minutes. Ah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Game.
Yeah. Emphasising the points that we were making about push your opponent to the back, bring them forward, then change the angle, make them twist and turn.
She's got so many skills from the backcourt, Sung Ji Hyun.
21-9. That opening game in 16 minutes.
bolanya kan ininya dia semua jadi. Kalau bolanya sampai belakang, dia sudah kurang.
If you attack, I want you to attack. If you attack, remember to follow your shots.
Well, we only caught the first part of that, which from Morton Frost, which was if you're going to attack, really attack.
Yeah, and the follow up,
And the
follow the
follow-up.
shots.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we lost the mic there, so we couldn't hear the rest of it because they're still talking. And of course, it's a young player, so there will be a lot of things to emphasize.
And I suppose this is the situation, Steen, that we were referring to earlier about involving the player in the discussion. When you have a younger player, that's when you take over more and there's more telling rather than asking or involving, and you need to give them guidance because they haven't been in this situation before.
No. And in this situation, down 21-9, I would never ask the player, how do you feel?
No.
Because obviously the player got no clue, because otherwise she would have played differently.
Yeah.
So, and she's a debutant, so it would be the coaches telling what they want to do. And one of the things that I would emphasize here is that don't play to win this match. Play to get experience, because at the end of the first game there was some signs that she was playing to win it. She was trying to put it closer to the lines. That's not the solution.
Yeah. It's a good opening rally to the second game. Yeah, got caught on the backhand. It's always a sign a player is in trouble when they have to turn and play the backhand from deep in court. Especially for women's singles players, very, very difficult to then get the shuttle deep into your opponent's court. So
it takes a lot of arm power to get it back deep.
Yeah, so real trouble if you see a player in that situation.
Service over. 1 all.
I like that variation. Good use of the body smash. It's about the first we've seen this match, isn't it? Clever. Aimed for that right hip, and that's where she hit it.
Good deception.
Service over. 2 all. Service over. 3 2.
Overdone it. Now that's the sort of shot that you're saying,
Yeah,
don't try and play for the line.
no. But it's natural, because I mean, she's probably very, very happy she's been selected for the Sudirman Cup team, and she wants to prove that it's the correct selection. So the number of points is important for her, whereas it should actually be the amount of tiredness when she's finished with this match. The more tired she is, the better.
I understand exactly the point you're making, Steen, but you know, I'm thinking back to the dark ages when I used to play. You know, and an athlete's mentality is you always want to win.
Yeah.
So to deviate from that and say to yourself, okay, this is beyond me, I'm just going to do something else, instinctively, I'm not sure I'd be able to do that.
No. And it also it takes longer time, because now she's been selected and the coaches are saying, well, it's a development tournament and so on, but she hasn't tried that before. So what happens when she comes out from this match? Are the coaches going to continue the line of developing, or are they suddenly going to comment on the score and that she didn't get so many points and so on? So
yeah.
So is this for real, that I'm actually selected on my talent, or is it just until I lose really big, then it's not about the talent anymore, then it's not good enough and so on?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what you want to get some kind of certainty of as a player, that this is the way we're doing it now.
Yeah. And of course, Morten Frost won't have been in Malaysia long enough for the players to have that trust and understanding that that is the long-term philosophy.
No, and even if they might have this trust, but I think you're right. It's pretty much impossible to have. Even if they had it in one person, there's still the environment.
Yeah.
There's still the other players. There's still the coaches. Still the journalists and so on. So it takes a while to change the environment to sort of allow this kind of development.
Yeah.
Wait, please. Wait. Play.
Oh, that's a beautiful net shot.
And there was the follow-up.
Yep.
And she gets thumbs up from Morten Frost. Attack and follow your shot. And there she is, taking it high.
Just long. So for absolute clarity, what you and Morten Frost are talking about then is when you attack and you talk about the follow-up, you have to believe that your shot is going to force what you and I would call a weak return. And a weak return is when you can read where it's coming. Not necessarily that it's loose over the net, but if you know that it's coming back to the net, that's when you follow up.
Exactly. And in women's singles, I guess 90% of the smash returns is short straight.
Yeah. Wow.
So go for that instead of covering all four corners.
Called in. Oh, there's a challenge.
Yeah.
Good out.
Challenge.
Another challenge. Oh, she's going to lose that challenge. That's plumb on the line. Well, she was hesitant.
I was about to say that I understood her challenge, but after seeing it in replay, there's no chance whatsoever that this could be called out.
No chance. Hawkeye's going to confirm it for us, I'm sure. And Hawkeye does.
Challenge unsuccessful.
I thought that, you know, her hesitation
Service over.
perhaps was her own indication to herself that, you know, normally you've got to have the philosophy as a player that I'm, you know, unless I know absolutely immediately that I want to challenge, then you shouldn't challenge.
Great net shot from
Service over.
Song.
11-5.
So a 6-point advantage at the mid-game interval in favour of Korea in the form of Sung Ji-hyun.
Lepas itu, lop 1-2 kali saja. Lepas itu banyak turun. Terus bola lagi. Turun. Lop 1. 여기서 크로스.
Well, again, I seem to have lost. Oh, look
For
at that head shot. Did you see
20
that?
seconds.
That was
For 1, 20
wonderful.
seconds.
Seeing that again, how tight that was and how the shuttle was upside down as it crossed over the net. And of course, Indrowan, world champion in Seville in 2001. I think Morton's going to have to brush up on his Bahasa, because I think that Hendrowan was speaking to his player in one language and Morton in another. This is a good rally. Oh, I like that clear. Oh, sensational! Goodness me, what a rally! And what a way to end it!
11.
Well, it's not often that Sung Ji-hyun is sent in the wrong direction. But she was left stranded at the end of this rally, the longest rally of the evening so far in this tie between Korea and Malaysia. Look at that, how did she get that back? Yeah, no wonder the little celebration at the end of that rally.
It's well played. A trademark Sung Ji-hyun.
12.
The steep cross drops from the baseline.
Oh, that's played with good pace. That round the head cross-court shot from Sung Ji-hyun.
It's a brilliant shot.
Yeah. Do you call that a fast drop or a half smash? Either
In
will
between, in between.
Yep, either would do.
So, in many ways, the lift to that corner should sort of be taken out of the game, because you might as well try something else, because if you do this, you're still in trouble.
Yeah.
Big, big trouble.
Service over. 7-13.
go wide. Yeah.
Service over. 14.
Excellent rally by Song.
Yeah.
She, of course, I mean, she probably just want to win this